out of the box or out of the wall. We're going to call it. We have, exactly what it is. Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. Of course, this is Part 1 of Part 2 of the series. And now recently, since the new Hunger Games came out, the director, Francis Lawrence, said he would not do Part 1 and Part 2 now. However, when watching these two, should it have been one big movie? That's a lot to cut out. But let's see how Part 1 really is. Chase Leaki here at the Blue Futon reviewing Mockingjay Part 1. What's about? Pretty simple premise. This is after the dome exploding because Jennifer Lawrence said, President Snow, and now all the districts, well, not all of them, most of them are trying to be like, yeah, we need a revolt. And District 13, wait, there's a District 13? They're actually a military base underground. And now this is conflict now. Not really conflict, but this is more a strategic movie of how District 13 is going to rally the troops slowly to get to District 1. However, PETA and the girl from District 6, as well as Felix, if I'm saying his name right, from District 4, has been captured. Will they get them back? And what is going to happen in a strategic movie? I'm calling it strategic because I'm not going to call it a violent movie because this is more strategic. I don't know what else to say, people, because people did dog this movie for not being quote-unquote violent or enough or having the action as the first two movies had. And is that an issue for me with this movie? No. This is the shortest of them. This is roughly 2 hours, maybe 2 hours and 2 minutes. So it does take 20 minutes off each runtime of the first, second, third. Even the fourth one now, or you want to call it the fifth one, sorry, is like almost 3 hours. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. That's my review for that one. But anyway, I enjoyed seeing the behind-the-scenes things that are occurring with Julianne Moore's character, Philip Seymour Hoffman's character, District 13, Mahershala Ali's character. I enjoyed these new characters enough to be like, this is interesting. As well as Liam Hemsworth gained a little bit more screen time. As well as these camera crew, quote-unquote, propagandaists that are following around Katniss Everdeen to get the footage to rally the troops. So yes, it might not be that much action. The biggest action set piece is with District 8, if I'm not mistaken, with the hospital, and where, she sees the atrocities happening with President Snow bombing a hospital. And still, like I said in my two other reviews, I'm still not liking Katniss Everdeen's, a.k.a. Jennifer Lawrence's path of her psyche of everything happening. Even Liam Hemsworth, like, this is war. Shit's going to go down. There's going to be civilian casualties. It's going to happen. Think about it. 9/11, Pearl Harbor, the Hamas attack, shit happened in Iraq, Ukraine, Russia. There are always going to be civilian casualties. That is war. And for some reason, Jennifer Lawrence still doesn't fucking understand it. And it's in her character where you're just like, listen, you just fought multiple people. You killed multiple people to survive. You see this for yourself, what is happening. Yet you're still in the psyche of like, I gotta do this by myself. I gotta do this by myself. And no one else can do it. Why are people dying? Why are you doing this? Those are innocent people. Well, no fucking shit. There's always collateral damage. And I don't think, that's what was bothering me in this movie, is the collateral damage of she just doesn't fathom it. And maybe I'm just totally missing the message of her own just psyche, which I understand. She has PTSD of everything that's happened throughout the games. However, you would expect for her to be the one to understand, look, shit's going to go down. People in war and people to survive one-on-one, and if they know it's one or the other, it's not as simple as these lovebirds thing. So I think that gave her a little bit of a, what am I trying to see? A bias of like, we could beat it by doing this berry thing, and everyone else could do the berry thing as well. Well, that's only a little thing that could actually occur with the berry thing. And there's something that happens in the second one, which I think really just solidifies that she finally realizes people are evil and power is all they're looking for. But still, in this one, it was a little bit annoying where she just did not understand where Mahershala's character was trying to help. There's so many people trying to help her. She's just like, no. It's like, come on. But when we're talking about the directing, Francis Lawrence does a fantastic job. Like I said, he does what he can with doing as much CG less as possible. There's a cool scene where they put a spaceship, you want to put that on a crane, and they lowered the actors down. And I think that is smart. We need to go back to this type of filmmaking, not like go in a big room of a big ass screen. Let's go out to the open and try to do as much practical stuff as possible, because that puts less hinder on the CGI, on the visual effects people. When you actually have real people, if you don't put them in super, super dangerous situations, they could probably do it tenfold and probably do a pretty solid job overall. But I think Mockingjay Part 1 is a solid movie. I think it is the weakest of the first three, but still way better than Songbirds and Snakes. My problem with Songbirds and Snakes is the first act I enjoyed. The other two acts, it just didn't click for me whatsoever. But like I said, Part 1, I enjoy the psychological or strategic aspect of this. I don't need violence in every single one of these movies, and I think this is a smart decision to do that, because they know for a fact the second one's going to be more balls to the wall, and I completely understand that. However, this is where Jennifer Lawrence's character starts getting a little bit annoying for me, and once you watch it back to back to back to back, you kind of see to where you're just like, you've been through all this shit, you see all these people trying to help you, but you still don't understand, and it's kind of fucking annoying. So The Hunger Games, Mockingjay Part 1, will receive a 3 out of 5 Futons, which equals at 60%. Let's see the critics' news scores gave this one. So with Part 1, you have critics a 70% with 306 of them. Audience score 71% with over 100,000 critic consensus. Mockingjay Part 1 sets up the franchise finale with a penultimate chapter loaded with solid performances and a smart political subtext, though it comes up short on the action front. That's the thing. I disagree with the critic consensus. I don't need action. I think why I give this a 16 instead of a 70 is because of Jennifer Lawrence's decisions and where it is actually going. Where it was so frustrating to me. Where it was like, grow up. I know that's not the right word to say, but just grow the fuck up. Everyone has their own problems, yet you think yours is like the number one, and it always isn't. She's like the center of the universe sometimes, and it kind of gets annoying. Anyway, 70, 71, 60. Chase Scott here with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. One more things, Butontopia. You Butons think about a great day. I don't care watch this day tomorrow, a week from now, a month from now, a year from now. I love every single freaking one of you. And of course, you know, the final one is coming right now.